Okay, so take a look at this engine that I just got done completely rebuilding. This is a 1966 small block Chevy 283. I bought the engine locally off of a guy in Grand Rapids from Marketplace. The engine was bought basically as a core. To my knowledge, it had not been started in about 30 years. I completely disassembled this engine. I got it all the way down to the bare block. I flex honed the cylinders, checked them for roundness and taper. I used a micrometer for that. Got the cylinders all nice and clean again. I replaced all the piston rings and re-gapped all the piston rings. Interestingly, most of the rings were broken when I pulled them out. So the engine would not have started. So after I replaced the piston rings, I replaced all of the connecting rod bearings and rechecked them with a plastic gauge for spec, and they spec'd out perfectly. So after I did that, I pulled the camshaft, and I was not able to replace the camshaft bearings. You needed a special tool for that, which I did not have. But I did check the bearings kind of visually. They looked okay. I checked the camshaft itself. I checked all the lobes and spec'd them for proper duration and lift. They all spec'd out pretty good. Once I did that, I pulled the cylinder heads off. I did a complete valve job. I lapped the valves and checked the springs for tightness. All that seemed okay. After reassembling that, I did a quick water test on the valves. The valves showed a little bit of leakage, but nothing horrible. So I proceeded with that. I did pull out the old mechanical fuel pump, and I'm going to replace that with a electric fuel pump. So that's the plate there. I also pulled out the oil pump, and I checked the oil pump for proper, gaps and clearances and things like that. And that all turned out pretty good. The engine did not come with a harmonic balancer, so I had to purchase a brand new harmonic balancer. I did that. I also pulled the timing plate. I replaced the timing chain and the timing gears. The timing gears were in pretty rough shape, so I bought new timing chain and timing gears. And that. The next thing I did, this is an old Rochester 2-barrel 2G carburetor. Completely disassembled that and rebuilt that with the rebuild kit I bought from Mike's Carburetor. That came with everything that you needed to basically rebuild a carburetor. So as you can see, I added a PCV system. The engine as I bought it did not have valve covers. I also didn't have these Ramshorn exhaust either. When I bought the new valve covers, I also purchased the PCV system, so you can see that hooked up. The distributor that came with the engine was an old point style distributor. I replaced the points, I replaced the condenser, and had to buy a brand new coil. I could not initially get any spark on that, so I did replace the original distributor with this brand new HEI distributor. With that, I had to buy new spark plug wires. They were kind of specific to the HEI distributor. Then I was able to purchase a brand new starter with a solenoid, and also bought that flywheel. That was necessary to be able to start the engine. So with all that, the engine was then completely reassembled, and I did a leak down test and a compression test. The leak down test showed minor leakage, but nothing so severe that would prohibit me from trying to start it. The compression test, 7 of the 8 cylinders showed good compression, greater than 120 PSI. I did have one cylinder number 6, which is showing a little bit low on compression, like around 90, but I think that's enough to keep me going. So the next step I'm going to do is try and fire it up. I did actually wire this up a little bit, kind of a makeshift on-off switch here with a wire going to the HEI. I checked it just today to make sure I'm getting spark, and I am. So the next step is to fill the carb with a little bit of gas and see if we can fire her up. So assuming that the thing runs, because again, I'm pretty confident now that I actually have spark, that the next step will be to come over here and I'm going to put this old Saginaw manual 3-speed in. I have to get the clutch and all that, clutch assembly and throw out bearing and all that, but once I'll be able to purchase those things, then I'll pop that thing on there and should be able to put her in this old 57 Chevy here I've been working on for a while. So stay tuned. As I said, the next step is going to be to fire this 283 up, probably for the first time in about 50 years, and I will keep you posted.